ANTS is a strategic game for 2 to 4 players. Grow and develop your ant society by exploring the garden, gathering resources, and digging your anthill. Be brave and organized, and lead your colony to victory. Put the game board at the center of the table, using the side corresponding to the correct number of players. Randomly place a special object tile on each diamond icon. Randomly place the 6 leaf tiles on the designated slots. Create 6 face-down piles of different enemy tiles. In each of the designated hexes, reveal 1 enemy tile of the matching type and add the indicated resource cubes. Shuffle the 3 card decks separately. Reveal 9 base cards on the game board. Create a supply of various tokens, resource cubes, room tiles. Each player gets an anthill board and a random anthill tile to insert in the board. You can play either with the symmetric or the asymmetric tiles. Each player selects a set made of a queen tile and 3 incubation tiles. Those tiles go on the anthill board. Get the amount of resource cubes indicated on the queen tile, then flip it. Get all the discs of your color and place one on the starting space of the nuptial flight track on the game board. Place 3 discs on your topmost incubation tile. 3 discs on your intermediate incubation tile. Get all the cubes of your color and place 1 cube on each pheromone space. 1 cube on the first space of each of the 3 egg production tracks. Create 3 stacks of star tokens divided by icons in an increasing value order. Put 5 food cubes in the emergency storage. Start with a size 2 room tile face down in your nest. Draw 2 Queen's Room cards and 6 starting cards. Choose only 4 cards in total to keep. The game lasts a variable number of turns, until the end of game condition is met. Starting from the first player, players take turns one at a time. During your turn, perform one of the 6 possible actions: digging, exploring, foraging, playing 2 cards, playing 1 card and defeating an enemy, incubation. The discs in your incubation tiles represent the 3 life stages of your ants: eggs, larvae, and ants. The position of the disc represents its specialization: diggers, explorers, and foragers. The number of the discs you will use determines the strength of the action you take. If you choose to dig, spend 1 to 4 digger ant discs. Take 1 card from the top row of the display and then refill that space. Place 1 or more room tiles into empty spaces of your nest, such as the total size equals the action strength. Place the new room with the dark side visible. The new tiles must cover at least 1 space of Area 1, or be adjacent to a tile already placed. Immediately activate the bonus you cover. If you completely cover Area 1, 2 or 3, gain 1 star. If you choose to explore, spend 1 to 4 Explorer Ant discs. Take 1 card from the central row of the display and refill that space. Place 1 of the discs used on a free exploration space in the center of a hex on the board, as long as that space is reachable based on your action strength. The number of white dots on the exploration space indicates the required strength. Immediately activate the bonus you cover. Then, if the hex shows an enemy icon, draw and place 1 enemy tile that matches the explored terrain type. If the hex shows resource cubes, place the indicated cubes on that hex. If there are forager ants on the vertices of that explored hex, each of them collects 1 resource. The collection order is determined by the nuptial flight track. If you choose to forage, spend 1 to 4 forager ant discs. Take 1 card from the lower row of the display and then refill that space. Place all removed discs onto forage spaces on the vertices of the hexes on the map. The first disc placed in this action must be on a red bordered space, or adjacent to one of your forager ants, or on the vertices of a hex that contains your explorer ant, but no other of your forager ants. All ants placed during the same action must be adjacent to one another, forming a continuous, non-branching path. If there are resource cubes in the adjacent hexes, collect them. Each forager ant collects 1 cube from each adjacent hex. After collecting resources, either after exploring or foraging actions. If the hexagon is emptied, players who have at least one forager ant at the vertices of that hex emit a pheromone. Take the cube corresponding to that terrain color from your board and place it on the leaf tile on the map corresponding to that type of terrain. The active player places the cube first. Only the first player that places a cube on the leaf gets a bonus. Emitting a pheromone gives you a pheromone icon and can gain you stars. If you choose to play 2 cards, play up to 2 cards from your hand. You must meet the requirements shown on the card. Room cards need empty rooms to flip in order to be played. The played cards provide effects, symbols and victory points. If you choose to play a card and defeat one enemy, play 1 card as explained before. In addition, you can defeat an enemy in a hex belonging to a terrain type where you have at least 1 explorer ant. You must meet the enemy's requirements. Depending on the difficulty level 1, 2 or 3, place the enemy tile face down in an appropriate ability slot on your board. Enemies on your board unlock different abilities: instant effects, incubation effects, permanent effects, and scoring effects. If you choose the incubation action, remove all ants from your topmost incubation tile. Keep up to 1 ant per specialization on the storage spaces and return the others to your supply. Then follow the incubation phases. Resolve the deed indicated on the topmost incubation tile. If you meet the requirements, flip it face down and increase any of your productions by 1. Then you can activate all the incubation effects on your cards and board. For instance, you will activate the 5 productions. Get the number of resources and eggs indicated by the position of the production cube. Eggs go on the lowest incubation tile. Then pay 1 food for each larva you own. Finally, slide all the incubation tiles up, moving the topmost in the lowest position. This evolves your ants. At any point during your turn, you can also perform any number of free actions: enhancement, conversion, emergency storage. You can enhance your action when you dig, explore or forage. Discard 2 food to generate an additional usable ant and increase the action strength by 1. The maximum strength is 4. You can convert one of your ants or larvae by discarding 1 food and changing their specialization. You can use as many cubes as you want from your emergency food storage. You will get penalties at the end of the game. Some cards and abilities can provide you with wild ants. Treat those discs as ants with a specialization of your choice, and use them together with regular ants to perform your actions. At any time, when you meet the requirements for a star, obtain it. Put it on the stars track. You get stars for completing areas in your nest, emitting pheromones, and completing deeds. Some effects let you advance in the nuptial flight track. When you reach a swarming bonus space, choose if you want to exit the track and get victory points, or to continue advancing. When you exit the track, place a new disc at the start of the track. When the stars track is completed, the end of game is triggered. Finish the current round, then play another round. Then all players play a mandatory incubation action and the game ends. Sum up the victory points from the obtained stars, points from the nuptial flight track, points from the played cards, points from the defeated enemies, from special objects, from your productions, and get 1 point for each of your ants on the board. Consider the penalties from the emergency storage. The player with the most points is the winner. In case of a tie, the one with the most stars wins. In case of a further tie, the player who has the most resource cubes left wins. You are now ready to play ANTS.